What is going on, guys? Welcome to my channel, Hairlicious. If you guys are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on hair loss topics and treatments. Make sure to visit my website at HAIRLICIOUSLY.com to check out some of my current hair loss treatment products, including microneedling and dermaling, which have been scientifically proven to induce hair growth factors and stimulate hair growth, my DHT blocking shampoo, medical grade laser caps, supplements, and a few other products that can help with hair growth. So before I get started in today's video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my current hair. I just hit month 4. And I'll do a separate video hopefully tomorrow, but just look at how well my hairline just frames the face. And there's just so much growth. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's so much hair growth at month 4. And I'm super happy with the results that I have so far. And I still have several more months before more hairs are gonna be growing in and thickening up. But just look at how just well this, this hairline frames my face. I just can't believe just how well the hairs are growing, and just these temporal points right there just stick out and make the forehead a lot smaller. And I just really love how masculine, these points right here are. But stay updated for a more in-depth video tomorrow, and I will give you guys an update. So it's been a while since we've actually last had any updates on current hair loss treatments in the pipeline, but fortunately we actually just received some much needed updates from Shiseido and Replicel's RCH-01. I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting for an update which seemed to take forever. But for those who don't know what Shiseido and Replicel is working on, let me give you guys a quick breakdown of their treatment and I'll talk about the update. Their research basically involves an autologous cell therapy utilizing something known as the dermasheath cup stem cells that are isolated from hair follicles from the back of the donor zone, and it works similar to how an FU extractions are performed during a hair transplant. And once these cells are isolated from the punch sample, they are going to be multiplied to grow millions and millions more and then re-injected into balding areas on the scalp. Now, we already know that phase 1 confirmed the complete safety profile of a high dose of dermasheath cup stem cells for patients with pattern hair loss with no adverse side effects over the entire 60.5 months follow-up period of the trial. Histopathological evaluation of injection site biopsies taken up to 2+ years after injection did not reveal any pathology indicative of any tumors or foreign body formation such as cancer. The most recent update that we have was from a press release earlier last week regarding Shiseido/Replicel's RCH-01 treatment for phase 2, and it was actually titled Autologous Cell-Based Therapy for Male and Female Pattern Hair Loss Using Dermasheath Cup Cells, and was a randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blinded dose-finding clinical study. Now, we have Tokyo Medical University and Toho University who are both involved in RCH-01 as far as research and in the clinical study. They were able to confirm once again safety and efficacy of their dermasheath cup cell therapy for treating androgenic alopecia. There were 50 males and 15 females between the ages of 33 and 54 who received a single injection, 1 milliliter, in 4 randomized separate regions on the scalp, and hair densities and hair diameters were measured until 12 months after. And this was all performed in their 2 centers in Japan. Efficacy was evaluated by taking images of phototrichograms before the injections, and at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months later from July 2016 to April 2019. And hair densities and hair diameters were measured using image analysis system software. Now, the good news was, total hair density and cumulative hair diameter at the injection site significantly improved temporarily at 6 months and at 9 months post-injection with no serious side effects, no adverse side effects. But the data did show that there was a slight decline in total hair count from 9 to 12 months. And surprisingly, the lowest dosage of dermasheath cup cells injections of 3.0 times 10 to the 5th had the highest significant increase in total hair density and cumulative hair diameter compared with placebo. This means that, higher dosages of the injections did not correlate with more hair growth. The other 2 dosages that they did test were at 7.5 times 10 to the 6th and 1.5 times 10 to the 6th. Now, as far as the lower dosage and why it was actually more effective, was that a higher dosage could cause tissue damage or a poor environment of the tissue caused by the injection of higher number of dermasheath cup cells. A preclinical study of mice confirmed that the number of viable cells remaining in the skin after injection is immediately reduced by a certain amount when they had higher cell numbers that were injected, which indicates that there may be an upper limit to the number of viable cells that can be retained in the skin or the scalp. Another explanation for efficacy in lower dosage is that debris of dead cells may cause inflammatory reactions such as immune cell migration and cause a poor environment for remaining viable dermal sheath cup cells. Now, the other interesting thing was that treatment was more successful in older subjects and those with moderate severity in hair loss. And this is actually represented in the phototrichogram images that showed increased hair density and diameter. The speculation behind this is that the older patients who received these injections may have higher numbers of resting inactive hair follicles, so that the injected dermal sheath cup cells showed more prominent improvement in the induction of hair growth. Now, this graph here shows the total hair density in both males and females, and as you guys can tell, it looks like the average increase in hair density peaked around 5 hairs per centimeter squared at 9 months post-injection, and then it somehow diminished after. Now, 5 hairs per centimeter squared is not going to cure hair loss, and if you guys haven't realized by now, I don't think Shiseido and Replicel's RCH-01 treatment is going to cure hair loss. It seems more fitting that this is more of a maintenance type of treatment. And, you know, to be honest, if it can actually replace things like finasteride or minoxidil and other types of current hair loss treatments, and at least help maintain the hairs that we have, I think it would be a great step forward. But honestly, you know, it is a bit disappointing to see that the numbers were just so low, you know, after all of this anticipation and waiting. And it also looks like you guys will probably need injections once every 6 months or so. The question is finding out, is there an optimum or optimal dose when it comes to, you know, having better results? And, you know, being that Shiseido is honestly a cosmetic company, it might make sense to some as far as in a business standpoint that they're selling products where you continually have to come back for more treatment, you know, just use, continually. But like I said, if it works, it works. The other issue that I feel like they need to address is further studies in the accumulation of dead cells in the skin, as well as the inflammatory responses from the injections. We still don't know exactly what's going to happen over a long term of period, exactly what's going to happen. And the other thing that kind of makes me question is, since, you know, chances are the injections are going to be required every 6 months or 12 months. And each time of treatment, are they going to have the capability to store the multiplied biopsies for future use, which probably, I think in my opinion, is going to be far more likely the case. And this really isn't a deal breaker because you know, you probably don't need that many extractions in the first place anyway, but we still need to have more additional clinical trials using dermal sheath cup cells, using lower dosages, and also in larger hair loss areas to properly demonstrate any visible effects of hair growth through image analysis systems and phototrichograms. But man, I really was a little disappointed, to be honest. The main goal was to inject these injections into the scalp, get decent regrowth, and maintains for at least a few years. But seeing that the gains are diminished at 9 months is a little disappointing, like I said, to say at the very least. But, you know, with more testing that's going to be needed, and also considering that, you know, the dispute between Shiseido and Replicel is not in place right now. I don't know where they're standing in a legal standpoint. It won't be for a while until they even decide to market RCH-01. But, you know, at the same time, you kind of have to think positive. On the flip side, I don't think that all hope is going to be lost. If lower dosages can have better efficacy and hair density, since the study was just based on single injections, perhaps multiple injections in balding areas at the proper lower dosage and frequency can more than likely show better hair growth and density. So like I said, not all hope is going to be lost, and we still need to be optimistic and keep our fingers crossed, hoping for the best. But at this point, as far as trying to cure hair loss, I think Dr. Suji is winning the race right now. We actually have not heard back from him, so we still need to wait for an update for that. But as far as Replicel and Shiseido's update on RCH-01, that's all I have for today. Let me know what you guys think and what your thoughts are on this treatment. And if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.